Hello and welcome back. Today we are playing Great Britain / UK and Victoria 3. And last episode, what we did is we puppeted New Granada. We are damaging relations with them because we want to integrate them as fast as possible. So we'll build the Panama Canal. And then after that, another thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about a bug too. So Great Mongolia. So we have them in our customs union, and we can change them to our customs union. This is a bug. We shouldn't be able to change them to the customs union. This is why we're continuing to bankroll them, so we're going to stop bankrolling them, because they're already in the customs union. The customs union has been expanding pretty good clip. We have the Ottomans in there. It's pretty good. We are siphoning off pops from everyone in the customs union, which is really good, which is one of the reasons we have the laws that we do in total separation, multiculturalism, and no migration controls in order to siphon off pops as quickly as possible, and this is keeping our standard of living pretty down, which we kind of want to increase anyways, but we are attracting pops at such a fast rate that it's going to keep it down. Although our line doesn't look vertical, we do have a population of 50 million, partially off the back of taking Beijing at the start of the game, which has a population of like 15 mil, or at least it did when we took it. I imagine it's going to be considerably less now, because they are migrating. Yeah, so they've lost about 1 million to migration away more towards the home countries here. So this is kind of what's been going on, and then what I wanted to talk about here before we find a war to declare is economies of scale output, because we are kind of about to get shift work here, which will give us plus 20 economies of scale building cap. This is the most innocuous looking tech, but it's actually quite powerful. And we'll just take a look here. So currently, if we go here, we have a throughput bonus of 51%. This is from 30% from economies of scale. You can get it up to plus 50 from economies of scale. We're also encouraging manufacturers in the home country, and we have the very, very strong Big Ben. And so once we have all of the tech bonuses, so once we have encouraging manufacturers, once we have the trade unions super happy with us, giving us plus 10%, but when their clout gets up to 20%, it'll be plus 20%. And then also the additional 20% from shift work, you know, it'll be plus 91% throughput bonus, including Big Ben, which means for every one of our buildings is producing 91% of the extra goods. And this is better than just having an extra building, because it doesn't increase the inputs by my understanding. It just increases the outputs, and so this is pretty good. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that's the way it works. And so, you know, this is pretty good. And when you think about it, Big Ben, like, it seems pretty, like 1% throughput, that's not too big a deal. But in here, we're about to have 5 arts academies. We have shipyards, so that's 8. So 13. The universities do get the throughput bonus, I believe. Yeah, they do. So that's 13, 12, 25, 40, 42. These also benefit from them. 57, 57, 77, 108. What is this? 141, 175. These also benefit, I believe, 175. They also benefit from Big Ben in terms of their profitability. So 175 plus 150. So was that 325? So we are getting 325 1% ticks from Big Ben, which, you know, it adds up to the equivalent of being like 3.25 buildings, which is not an innocuous amount to pay. Like, we're just, for this balance, we're getting like 325% of a building, and it's not increasing our inputs by my understanding of how these economies of scale output works. Let's see if we can actually check that closer. Yeah, doesn't help with that. But okay. How effectively the workforce of a building can turn input goods into output goods or other effects. Throughput can increase. Yeah, so it's just extra goods. So it's even better than just having multiple buildings. because you don't have the extra good input goods required. And so Big Ben, like, it looks innocuous, but it probably makes home countries the second best state in the game, right behind Beijing. Beijing, of course, has the Forbidden City, which gives you plus 50 authority and plus 20 legitimacy from having the head of state and government, but if you have the 10% throughput bonus from colonial exploitation, for whatever reason, it'll give you plus 55. Alright, we have to declare war. We are at 0 infamy right now. If you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, and so we're gonna puppet Argentina. And we decided to do this last episode mainly because, look, there's no France. We can't get France joining against us. We're gonna get this war to pop off. They're probably just gonna back down because they're so small. We get a puppet and we move on to the next war, which is normally how things go, but France has been sticking their finger in our pie, of which we don't like very much. And then I think we want to look for countries to Diplo expand into. We're not going to puppet Brazil, for example. We can protectorate them, and we can invite them to the customs union. So we're going to bankroll Brazil and look to slowly bring them into our market and then protectorate them from there. And this will be the slow slog to get them in. We are damaging relations with Egypt because Egypt is too strong to get in that way, and we want to break them up a little bit so we can get them in that way. We will probably open their market and then have them release Syria, and this should make them weak enough that we will be able to Diplo get them in kind of as a long-term consideration. So, like, once Syria's out, they will no longer be an unrecognized major power. They'll just probably be an unrecognized regional power, and when they are an unrecognized regional power, then we can pull them into the market. And so this is kind of how we're looking at the thing there. We're not even mobilizing anyone because they should be minus 75 fearful, and they're at minus 73 overall, so they just back down here. Paraguay sides with them. We will not add anything on Paraguay because we do not want to accrue any additional infamy because Argentina is almost certainly going to back down. No one can join that would make them not want to back down because there are no great powers with an interest in the La Plata region. This is why early on going after Argentina and Chile is generally pretty good because no one can stick their finger in your pie. If you don't want to save and reload a bunch, which I don't when I'm making videos, this is a good strategic region to operate in early game. Let's take a look, and let's think about where we're going to want to expand next after this. I'm kind of tempted to annex Zulu so we can get in on Transvaal, and we could also colonize this little pocket here. They are still happy with us. We definitely want that. And they are coming on up to 20% clout, which will be really good because then we will be getting 20% manufacturing economy scale bonus. And then we're about to start the research on shift work once baking powder finishes, you know, which is 0 days left. It doesn't feel like 0 days. Always a little weird when it's just the way all the ticks happen on a Monday. Yep. And we will switch over to baking powder as well. We are making a little money. We kind of don't want to be making money. We want to be making construction. Make construction, not money. So we will forget where everything is in the outliner. Perfect. That's probably enough. Argentina backs down. And now we get to just declare another war pretty quick here. And we had some wars in mind that don't accrue a lot of infamy, but that we really wanted to make. Like, for example, puppeting the Trucal Coast. Because oil appears here, this only gives us plus 2.2 infamy. Because they're already a subject, because they're a protectorate. But we want to do this. And this might incur, unfortunately, some joiners. Actually, we shouldn't have declared this war. We should have accrued a little bit more infamy, because France is going to join, and then we're going to be sad. Please. They will back down if no one joins. But good chance France and or Russia join. Of course, we will just have a waited out war with France. I thought we were going to avoid this. In fact, actually, I'm going to load. I really don't want another one of those wars with France. I want to do other things. And so we will load back 2 autosaves and not declare that war. And we will instead look for a region where France does not have an interest and Russia does not have an interest. Yeah. Normally, I really dislike reloading when I'm playing a playthrough, because I kind of like think of it as pseudo Iron Man, but this is a bridge too far. I do not want that. France is going to join. They really hate our guts. They are going to join in on that. We don't want that. We just want to get a nice, pleasant gaming experience after Argentina backs down, because France can't join there. I mean, I guess we could just go after Chile as well. This would be a fine strategy. I think that what we might try and do is we might... So we want a productive war, and of course we have to redo this. Go for shift work. Shift work is very powerful tech that doesn't seem that powerful. But it is really good, especially when you start off like really big and chatty and you can actually support this. So what we will do is we will start... we will look to get this up to 51 to get the max economies of scale throughput bonus. So that's 44. And then we will turn off auto expansion. And since Argentina backs down, now we can declare another war. We're not going to puppet trucal states because France will join in on that like 100%. But instead, let's look at Booligan and see who can possibly help them. And we will just go for conquer state of Booligan. So Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Great Qing. But notably, no France or Russia. Kind of don't want to randomly get a war against Great Qing unless we're actually going to war with them. We could try and conquer some of their states. We could just, you know, move in on them. Austria could join on their side. We do want to puppet the Sikh Empire, but currently not available. So what are the low infamy wars we want to do? I suppose the better question might be, where are the low infamy wars we want to declare? Yeah, we can't do that. My brain turned off. I forgot they have natural interest because of Algeria or whatever. I mean, there's no interest here from them. This would be a fairly easy war. It does give us 6 infamy. That's kind of a reasonable amount. I guess if I'm going to accrue that type of like infamy amount, I just like conquering Zululand before France gets a region down here, or interest down here. So let's just do this. They should just back down. I suppose we will mobilize one guy just in case they don't. It's probably unnecessary. Portugal could join. Don't think they do. Portugal's pretty on our side with things. We do want to protect her at Portugal. Let's absolve the obligation to make them friendly and see how close we are. So we're just minus 60. We will, and now we have a very large like infamy amount. So if they back down now we can go after the trucal states with the idea that if we get a long war against France, we just get to decay all of our infamy away. If you're not using your infamy decay, you are losing it. We are going to need a little bit more rail here. So why don't we put it at the front of the queue so we don't have to worry about it later, and take a look at what trades we could do. I think we are already trying to export this. Can't really get high export amounts anywhere, unfortunately. Always want to try and import this, but I think we, again, can't do anything that amounts to much. I think we are a little hamstrung, actually, by our convoy amount. I believe is a driving force why we can't do too much. No, that's a decent amount of convoys available. Like, for example, we should be able to import a big number from... No? Why is it just stuck at 1? I mean, it only needs 10 convoys. We have a ton of convoys available. A little confused there. Of course, I've been trying to solve this problem. Let's import from the Americas and hope that they make more. And the Swedes. And then I think, yeah, we're encouraging imports on those. So we do still have protectionism. Politician dies. Leader of the Anglican Church. Try to get these guys into being marginalized for some time now. The Whigs might win the election, which might allow us to put them in government. But the problem is we have monarchy. So we're getting a lot of our legitimacy from having her in the government or having the industrialists in the government. I'm not sure if we can swap over like that. So maybe we don't maintain the monarchy as much as it kind of seems like. Alright. Yeah, let's fire him, I guess. Admiral dies. Oh no, we gotta recruit another one. In the North CHQ. Yikes. We don't like either of these guys. I guess we just recruit the landed gentry one and then we fire him. He's a little Scottish. And now we go recruit Admiral again. Find another one. He could probably be unpaused. And we will happily take the Romantic Explorer. We'll promote him. He's not the best as an admiral himself, but we are a little bit more concerned with the IG. Because our navy is really strong. We finished the colonization of Sakhalin, which should mean we can declare another interest. We probably have a lot of interest declarable. Let's see. Yeah, we can declare another 10. Yikes. Let's just declare all those. Leave a little bit in case we somehow lose declare interest. We are hemorrhaging a lot of money now. Oh, okay. It's because we're growing the investment pool. This is fine. And they back down against us, yielding this, which means now we can go after Transvaal a little bit faster, so we can bankroll them and try and pull them into the market. We can also colonize this little there. Because I believe they do not have severe malaria. They just have regular malaria. And then here we will need to, we have a port. Let's set it to cargo. And let's get rid of your barracks. No uprisings here. What we want to do is we want to specialize in one of these and delete the other ones at some point. I'm not going to do that now. We'll just add coal mines, set them on auto expand, and this should increase standard of living here. Trying to patronize. Is that even the right conjugation? Trying to get this art. We can auto expand the art though. It is in the queue, so we will get that event to fire soon, hopefully, TM. And we want to be running a bit of a deficit. Would like it more if the petite bourgeoisie were plus 10 happy with us, because we'd be getting this low interest rate. If they were plus 10 happy with us and powerful, that'd be really ideal. But these guys are less happy with us. Really trying to crank up the standard of living a little bit to try and get, you know, some people happy with us off of the back of home affairs, the increased loyalists from standard of living increases. But wow, the US declares us as a rival. Well, shoot. I guess we can declare another war here as well, so we'll rival the US. And I mean, I kind of want to just take New York. New York is also a very strong state. We would actually incorporate New York. Can we do that? 35. Yikes. So we probably don't do that until we're ready. Alright. Until we're at least kind of want to invite these guys to the customs union. But we can protectorate them. Well, actually, we're nowhere near protectorating them. So we'll just use our obligation and keep bankrolling them. So we actually want them to be strong and maybe fight US themselves. And we will join with them. And we can look for another war now. Now, we have quite a bit of infamy. So let's see how much to conquer Banjar. 5. I don't think this takes us over. It just barely doesn't take us over. We might have to fight Spain. This would be fine. If we had to fight Spain and Great Qing, that might be a little bit annoying, but I think we could still clap around Great Qing at this point in the game, so we will go after that. And what is this about? Huh, we kind of don't care. I mean, I guess we care a little bit. Let's see if we can recruit a general to, you know, split things off a little bit. Nope, they're still just armed forces dudes. These aren't the group we want to empower, so we will not do that. Iraq abandons Banjar. We will send Hugo over. So we think that there's a good chance Spain joins this, right? And then we will send our smallest dude. Or actually, that guy can land let's send our smallest dude to over here. Take care of that. And we are running a huge surplus on diplomacy, which means we're going to decay quicker on the infamy. After this war, I assume that they back down even if Spain joins. They are quite fearful. They do have the gold reserves, so maybe they don't. But I think even if Spain joins, we still get the back down here. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of people are rivaling us up, which is not kind of something we were looking for. Getting mass migration events is nice. We are trying to pull this up though. I don't know. We're torn between wanting more pops so that labor is cheap, and yeah, Spain sides with Banjar. And so let's just take a look here at how fearful they are. Still 75 fearful. We might have to mobilize this guy though. We're going to mobilize him and put him on the... We're actually going to put him over here on this front. And we are going to put this guy on this front. And then we will see what we can try and get off of Spain. So we can kneecap Spain and try and make them not a great power so that we can vassalize them. I think this is kind of the way we want to go in case this war actually pops off. So we will just put liberate countries and we will just select a whole bunch to liberate. Andalusia is probably the biggest one. We will go liberate subject, Spanish Philippines, I think, so that they don't have a natural interest there anymore as Spain, and so they won't stick their finger in our pie when we try and do stuff in Indonesia. And then we can also liberate country, probably Galicia or Galatia. And then we can also just go for war reps on Spain in the event that this pops off. Probably could have declared a little bit more efficiently there. I don't think it pops off because we still are minus 75 over them. But, well, actually, yeah, so this is a reason we might not have, well, we actually, I think, would have rather busted up Great Qing a little bit if Great Qing joins, and Great Qing still might join. So I guess we shouldn't have spent all of that immediately, but we did. It is what it is. Wow. So we are close to being able to run a new consumption tax. So what we could do is we could just increase these, and then we get over here, and then we pay for it with a new consumption tax. And this will help to empower the Intelligentsia and the petite bourgeoisie, and also make them happier with us. So now we are getting this bonus that, well, I think we were getting that one before, but it makes it easier to hold on to the bonuses as well. Let's declare neutrality. Ooh. I like it. I love to see it. You're just conquering all this? Hell yeah, brother. We gotta remember to make guys dominions and not puppets so that they can go out and clap people. Looks like our auto queue is doing some work here because we have back here lead mines and logging camps and sulfur mines and coal mines, all these types of things. We're of course expanding these to the moon with the idea that we are getting shift work, so these will be extremely efficient once we get there from the economies of scale throughput bonus. Is this? Yeah, so this is a good one here. Labor in general is going to be expensive here. So what is this? 44, 49, 50. Take this off, auto expand. Add a couple rails. Add a rail there. We are trying to get the maximum throughput bonus on these places, with the understanding. So right now it's we're getting, once we get finish these and also get, yeah, we talked about this, but once we get the we have 10% from trade unions, we can get another once they become strong, so we'll be at 71, and then once we finish shift work, we'll get to 91. 2 arms, my friends. And here's to hoping they back down. Are they still minus 75 fearful? They are, so they likely back down, which is why it's important we didn't take any war goals off of Spain that accrue us infamy, because we still get some of that infamy even if they back down. Instead, we just had a bunch of war goals that were going to, you know, weaken them geopolitically. Italia. So I think we'll recruit this guy. That's fine. Might also just want to delete our navy in that area, the region. Make it easier to manage. Getting Banjar will also be nice. Why don't we check our PMs? We have acquired a little bit of territory, and so we might have divergent PMs. Patronize realist arts was finished. I think we can switch the boom booms here now. And we can start switching on some rails. I think, are we paying subsidies? Yeah, we are paying subsidies on the rails, because the rails are getting a little expensive, so let's turn them on in a bunch of spots. Which will make the businesses themselves less profitable, but it helps to pay for all the stuffs, all the things. We will swap these over to baking powder. We forgot, because we loaded the game. And we will swap... Yeah, okay, that looks all about right. Realist movement. So, we could go for the tech on camera. The political strength of capitalists... Well, it's only 5 years. If this was, like, permanent, I would go with this, but we're gonna just take the tech. Kind of our general heuristic here, anyways. Wow, there's a front with Spain here. Interesting. And I do think we need a little bit more government admins. Alright, the war with Banjar pops off, so Spain will be getting a clappening. It's happening, the clappening. And once we finish expanding here, we will send this guy to Spain. We do finish taking care of that, so let's make sure that he goes to Spain and not anywhere else. And let's actually do something with these guys. We can raid convoys here, and we can also escort the convoys there. Seems reasonable. And you will escort the convoys to Beijing, who is coming along nicely in terms of these tea plantations. Hot damn. Let's build another 5. And let's play whack-a-mole around abouts. Make sure we have enough infrastructure everywhere. Although we do have to be careful. If a place has turmoil, it will lie to us about the infrastructure. And one of the most expensive things is the wood, and we are having a hard time importing the wood to take care of this. So we take a look. Part of that's on the back of us not having a lot of convoys, though. So why don't we add ports in some of these territories to deal with the infrastructure issues as well? And then that will handle future infrastructures for issues for a little bit, but let's also expand the logging camps ourselves a little bit, and just everywhere that can build a logging camp and doesn't have a level in it, we will build a logging camp, and then we will set them on auto expand. And so when the queue empties, these will just generally kind of, you know, be a nice place to add a smattering. And it also lets us add a whole bunch of logging camps. I think we only have 20 or something in the whole country. We have 36, we're adding 25 with that little stunt there, and we'll set them all to auto expand, same with the fish. What do we have here? Okay, under the leadership of Fergus O'Connor, the radical movement is becoming widespread in Great Britain, whether or not to support or oppose them. This heralds a new time of great time and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we can give him popularity. Okay, so he's going to get popular radical no matter what, I think. And we can have William Lamb join him. What's William Lamb? He's a reformer. I think we support all the radical stuff, so let's just take a look at the radicals. So they go for universal suffrage, which I guess we don't want. They go for protected speech, and which we have, and we might also get this huge block of the radical party. Or we don't. We have rights of assembly, and they like guaranteed liberties, which we have. And then instead of that, we would change which guy over this guy, who likes cultural exclusion, which we don't have. We have multiculturalism. He likes property of women, which we have, and he likes compulsory primary school. But, well, these guys want to join the Whig Party anyways. But if we have more radicals, this is pretty close. But it would make him popular as well, which is kind of nice, because then we won't have to bolster the Intelligentsia anymore. And we can switch to bolstering these guys. And if these guys became radical instead of market liberal, we would be able to pass a lot of the reforms that we need on the trade unionists. So let's support the radical movement. Let's stop bolstering these guys. Let's instead bolster the Industrialists, so we keep them above 18%, because this is going to be a little concern, because these guys have both gotten popular, and so they're going to siphon off pops from every interest group, and so now we need to protect the Industrialist clout here, and then I think we're in good shape for that, all that stuff. I think we will need a few more government administrations, though. We're building more, I guess, but we are also, you know, sucking off pops from our very, very large market, which is nice. Now, you are doing quite well here, and I think what we might do is we might add a second front. Actually, once we finish here, we'll add a second front with this guy, Frederick Mackenzie. And we get construct Suez Canal done. So now it just needs to employ, which it will. Very nice. Yikes. So we need to focus more on industries now to try and make use of our investment pool transfer, I think, a little bit. We are running an infrastructure problem here, and we are currently building quite a bit here, so we're going to add 2 more. We're going to use all these eventually. We'll add 5 more. And let's make sure all of our rural buildings are now on what we want them to be on. We're starting to use the railroads, at least. Yeah. This is less profitable, but it's going to make it so that we are paying less on the subsidies for the rails, because it makes the railways more profitable, because the railways, if we take a look here, the railways, as the price of transportation increases, which we just bumped it up, it makes them more profitable, which means that we pay less in subsidies. So here we're paying 0 in the subsidies. God bless the 1% throughput bonus from Big Ben. That's not the only reason why we're paying less there, by the way, but it's the funniest reason. We have a movement for enacting proportional taxation. This is fantastic. We might go for this, actually. How much... Oop, that's not the one. Proportional taxation is real good. The problem is it's opposed by the Industrialists, so we will lose the Industrialist bonus, but we'll pick up the trade union bonus. But normally we would have to take out these guys to try and go for that, which we can't do with Elizabeth, and this is the really important law. Let's reset this. This law is probably the biggest, most important law that you can pass with the trade unionists, so that we are just getting a political movement for it and can try and pass it for relatively little is insane. And it deactivates job, yeah, it does a whole bunch of stuff, but overall our economy should be pretty good. Petite bourgeoisie middle managers being deactivated is painful, because we are just experiencing a ton of tax waste now. kind of one of the reasons I don't like the petite bourgeoisie. I really hate when that gets deactivated because you're lulled into a sense of false security regarding your situation. Let's see. Do you have a shortage of hardwood? We are handling that in the queue, though. And once we full occupy Banjar here, which we will shortly, this guy will come around. Fang launches a native uprising against us. So what we will have to do is we're going to recruit another general to deal with that. A little bit unfortunate, but... Alright, so we're going to recruit the better guy here. And then we're going to see if there's another guy we like. Not really. So we'll just use this guy for now. We'll mobilize him, put him here, and have him deal with Fang, which is really nice because we're going to get all of this territory. And we can establish colonies here. I think here also just has regular malaria, not the super fast malaria. It does have severe malaria, so we will not... I don't think we will colonize that quite yet. But Igbo? Do you have regular malaria? You do. Can we colonize you? We can, so let's do that. Do you have regular malaria? You do, so let's colonize that. How about you? Do you have regular malaria? You do. I assume it's going to be regular malaria here. All through there. So let's do all those. These can be a little bit slower. People are not fast to pick that up. Even though it's really good. I think it's a lot better than these over here, but okay, fair enough. We are increasing radicalism by quite a bit. I think that was because of the event that increased the radicals. The event that actually increases the radical event. Somehow they pushed back because of black magic fronts. If you saw that, you can rewind and just watch it again. We created a double front, and then they pushed into the front that had no one on it. Even so, despite us having a way bigger military, we will not. Ooh, actually, we will maybe take that. Yeah, Beijing does not have a lot of manufacturing, anyways, so this is fine. It's all fine. Huge population. Population's actually growing. But the migration, they're migrating out and into the rest of our market because the standard of living is not that great, and so more than happy to have them migrate to the homelands over here. I think we are actually less English and more Han in terms of culture. No, we were a little while ago. Some have assimilated, I suppose. How big is our economy relative to everyone else? Oh, it's bigger than everyone else. By a good margin. France is down to 60 mil. And we get the tech that we wanted. So we're going to go to society. Organized sports is not spreading to us. So we don't want to go that route. Let's go triage. Because this is not spreading to us. And then once we finish triage, we'll probably come in on civilizing mission maybe. And mutual funds, steel frame buildings, the like. We have to re-expand in this front because border splitting in this game is fantastic. Everybody loves it. Which extends the length of this war by quite a while because we did want to land behind and create a second front and push in. And we can't do that now. A little unfortunate. We are kind of running it up a little bit here. We have a very large investment pool. So we're going to run it back down a little bit as well. Once we get to these, which we are trying to 51 for the max economies scale throughput bonus. And what do you want? You're trying to sway us against Egypt. Well, we want to clap Egypt, right? So I think that we say yes. We don't really want the Aleppo Treaty Port, although I am curious if it gives us infamy. So we have 19.2. Let's see if we accept. Yeah, so it does give us the infamy from the Aleppo Treaty Port, but we do actually want to help them out, so... hopefully this war, we manage to dust up this war here and can switch relatively quickly. public address goes awry. Come on, my guy. Don't really care if this guy loses popularity. Really want proportional taxation. The taxation events have some of the worst bad ones. And so, as far as bad ones go, that one's not too bad. Russia sides with Egypt. Don't like that. Shit. Let's try and figure this out. I think if we take Egypt's capital, we can get him to capitulate relatively quickly, but this is going to be what we have to do. Might have to not worry too much about enforcing on Spain, although we are relatively close to their capital. We get the enforcement on Beijing, and so what we will do here is we will actually use that force to land over here. I believe it's Mackenzie. And try and finish this war faster. Oh, we love that this is now the war leader, Bali. France starts with Egypt. Man, this war has become unwinnable. Although I do expect them to back down now, unfortunately. How are you... Yeah... I mean, maybe we can outmaneuver here, but I really don't think so. I don't think that's a thing. But with Russia and France, it's I expanded the military under the assumption I was going to be fighting one of them, and I think I could fight one of them, maybe not at this point, but not two. I have the economy that's pretty big, but I don't think we can do that. It's a little bit unfortunate. I hope the Ottomans back down and we don't actually have this war. So, but we just accrued the infamy from the Aleppo Treaty Port for nothing, basically. But if we leave them, they for sure back down. And we're hoping they back down. It's fairly likely they back down. I think that we don't want to get the malice, the relational malice from leaving them, though. So we're just going to stay in there, assume that they back down, kind of hope that they back down. Look to enforce here on Spain. We did acquire a little bit more sand here, which we're more than happy with. For whatever reason, AI like overbuilds ports. I really hate it. Makes conquering territories really annoying. Let's go through our bankrolls and see what we can do. So Kiva, can we invite you to the customs union? No, we can't, even if we had one of those. We want to protectorate you guys. We are close. We just need to get a... Actually, we just owe them an obligation they accept. This will bump us up because we'll accrue 6 infamy, but we can lock this in. So why don't we do this? Which will make us kind of a little bit more hated, but we really want this. And then, after they say yes, then we will start damaging relations. Brazil, we will absolve the obligation to. Mexico, we have them in customs union, we want to protectorate them at some point. And Transvaal, we don't have an obligation. So this is the way things are shaked out. And then we are protectorate of Portugal, so we will start damaging relations. Because if you go to negative relations, when they are just a part of your market, then the negative relations will pop them out. Or the neutral relations will pop them out of the market, but once they're a protectorate, it won't. So then you protectorate them with the idea that you're going to puppet them later. We're going to dominion them. Oh boy, they go for the war. That's unfortunate. We were really hoping for a back down. It's really unfortunate because we're going to lose the canal here. We are going to enforce on Egypt here, and we can also just capitulate. I don't think there's any war goals against us here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's just Ottoman war reps, so we can capitulate at any point in time. We did get the 5 infamy from the Aleppo port thing, but looks like they're not putting anyone on the Sinai front, which is good, because we might be able to just take the capital and force a thing. But we'll see about this. We will have this guy control the coast up here instead. Actually, they've only ever tried to land the capital. I actually like him controlling the coast down here. And then we will use these guys to raid convoys down here. We'll declare neutrality on this one. Who are we hurting relations? Is this New Granada? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, not quite strong enough for this. Hoping that Spain capitulates faster than they are, but they're not. As evidenced by them not. Let's play a little whack-a-mole here. We're in okay shape. How much excess infrastructure you have here? 45. So we are going to look to... So this place is fully employed. Is this place? Yeah, so let's get this up to the 51. For the max economies of scale throughput bonus of 91. So big. And we, of course, will need a couple rails for that. But just a couple. And we're also trying to employ on this front, so things are getting expensive. Same time our economy's growing, so, you know, it's okay. Let's just take a look. I think that we... So Niger, Indochina both have generals that we don't really want. East Borneo. And where is... I might delete some of these, like, level 5 ones just so it gets easier to go through, but I think... So let's just take a look here. You don't have it, so I think I said Niger. Put Nigeria down here. Well, that's Niger HQ, but where is it in Niger HQ? Please. Senegal? British Guinea? I give up. We'll just pay for those, even though we're not going to use them. Naval invasion coming in here. And ba-boom. It's arrived. Oh, disgusting. It arrives, but it gives us a front with France, who's not even in this war with Spain, but somehow they can still push us on the front. That's fine, I guess. We'll just take the approval, and we get echoes of revolutions on one of our neighbors. We are on the capital now, so they should decay pretty fast. And so we will just push in here. They will capitulate pretty quick here, I think. And then we will try and move troops to Sinai, because for whatever reason, Egypt's not taking Sinai, and so maybe we can get Egypt's capital and force them to capitulate, and just get... so this minus tax income event is really annoying, so we're just going to take they should be more realistic, and just keep ticking with this 12%. It's not what we want, but that we can't afford the minus 10% tax thing. It's too big a deal. Too big a deal breaker. Alright, what's expensive in our market? Hardwood, as per usual. We can look for new import routes. We can get a level 5 from the Dutch and a level 4 from the Belgian. Russia sides with Austria against Prussia. This is kind of good for us because now Russia's fighting multiple wars. Alright, we're actually going to move... I think we can push... Without this, we're going to move this guy while he's fighting. We're going to move this guy to here. Oh, they already took Sinai. Got it. Okay, so we'll try and land Sinai then. We'll land here with Frederick, this guy. And just hope we can get in there. Is this war for leadership? Yeah, it is war for the German leadership. And the Austrians are quite strong. But Russia's on 2 wars. Could even side with Prussia here. I kind of feel indifferent to who gets the German leadership, though. Kind of expecting them to give up soon. They're pretty well occupied. And their capital is occupied as well. Surprised at really how long it's taking us to push into Fang here. And finish them off. Given the situation. I think we want more logging camps. Let's see where they earn a lot. Wales. Islands, Lowlands. So we enforce on Spain. Now Spain's all broken up. And we can also navally land. Oh, you guys are already landing, but we can land with Malcolm Little, and we can land in Sinai maybe. With John Seaton. And now it's just this 72er is coming over, so maybe we put him here to kind of slow that down there and try and still win this war. I think we can capitulate versus them. They don't have any war goals on them, so we just propose the white peace. They're amenable to that. Andalusia, we will want to invite to the customs union in due time. We will start bankrolling them now. And same with Galatia, I think. It's going to cost us quite a bit. We will see if we can invite anyone to customs union. So Kiva, will you join? No, not particularly close. We'll absolve, which will make them amicable. They have to get off of disinterested. We're kind of close to getting them in. We are just bankrolling them because we want to be. We'll absolve the obligation with Transvaal. Just gets us one step closer. Transvaal notably got a lot of gold events, so that's kind of why we are speeding up acquiring their territory. We're going to Diplo get it, though. Andalusia we just added, and Galicia we just added. Okay. And we are on the capital here, which is going to, you know, cause them to lose interest in this war real quick. Hopefully it's fast enough. I don't know if it will be, because the Ottomans are on 19, but this is the hope. It is going to be wrecking Egypt. We are trying to move. Now, I don't know why this happens, but sometimes you're moving a general, and then they just decide they don't want to move there, and they just go back home, which is exactly what happened with this boyo, which kind of makes a big deal because we want to push, you know, yeah. Like, that can make a difference in whether or not Ottomans capitulate on this, like, and so we're just going to take a raw success chance. Because we really want to pass proportional taxation. It does have opposition in the government. It is going to be hard to pass, so we are trying to deal with this. I mean, it's not a very large shortage, but we're trying to deal with it. I think we also want to build engines. Or actually, where are we creating engines that is not the capital? Because the capital has more productive stuff to do. It's in Yorkshire, so let's expand the industries in Yorkshire because those ones are employing. Let's expand quite a bit and give Yorkshire another rail, because they will need it. Now the Ottomans, please stay in this war. Please, please, please. We are gaining ground. We're gaining ground real quick. Short duration, reserves. We got attack. Let's take a look. So we are about to pop off here. Let's go mutual funds. We have several of the techs in. Which one did we get though? Let's see, institutions. Can we expand that? Nope, nope, nope. Not sure what tech we just popped off and got. A little awkward because we kind of should know, but you know, it is what it is. We have the Heartland here. No, they're not gonna. They're gonna give up before we do. That's unfortunate. We will not take the throughput penalty. Colonize Togo. I forget we start out with all these colonies out here. I guess we can expand them a little bit more. Let's do these ones. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Well, I mean, we're gaining ground. I wish that there was a momentum mechanic where, like, if you are suddenly gaining a bunch of momentum, you're more willing to stay in the war for longer. There's not, though. Because, like, Egypt is losing way faster than they are. How's this not working out, though? They're just winning every battle. I guess we could promote you. Which, of course, messes with some of our stuff. But I think we were overbuilt anyways on the generals in there. Backroom dealing exposed? No, no, no. We can take this bureaucracy hit. We really are trying to get this through. Proportional taxation. We are getting a little unlucky on the ticks. Who is this? Mahara? Okay. That's fine with us. Yeah, you're gonna... This is just not efficient enough to pull off pops from these other ones. Well, I guess we could land Aleppo to make them go faster. Now we don't have the fronts for that. Could land with Hugo, right? He's like right there. That should be faster. Let's raid the convoys. They will get pushed off this, but maybe this is good. I don't know. Us hitting the war goal, I think, is okay strategy. Sure, we'll take the trade agreement. One step closer to getting you into our customs union. As soon as we get an obligation, we can actually pull them in. Our customs union expanded quite a bit. Yeah, just an absolute massive war in the Middle East here. Let's quickly check our bankrolls, how things are. Can we invite you? We can invite you, Kiva, so then we'll stop bankrolling you. Can't invite you, don't have an obligation. We're hoping to puppet you. We can't, no obligation with you. No obligation with you. No obligation with you, can't take on your debt or anything like that. We're at minus 69, nice. But they're getting close to wanting to take a peace deal. So maybe we can get this done. I'm glad they don't have return Sinai as a war goal. That would be kind of annoying. The power of just occupying the capital, though, so good. Yeah, of course, does not do this, and we have been paused. Because we are dum-dums. I was like, why does this feel like it's going so slow? Kiva accepts for the customs union. Nice. We do not accept white peace. We are not with it. Although we will be with it if they somehow get like close to minus 100 or whatever. We want to enforce on you. Nice at the very least we're getting white peace though, I think. We have a free reform. Charitist party. Oh, we can actually get the trade unions in the gov? Why is this? And it still be legitimate? Now we're stuck with them, but this will help for the proportional taxation as well as all the stuff we do want to pass. So we're going to do this. And now, proportional taxation has a much higher pass rate. And there's also other laws we want to get in, so... Can we maybe land a little bit faster, or what? I guess it's or what, but... Still want the white piece. Ottomans really want this. Oh, I guess we have to accept it because we're not going to get there on the enforcing. So let's just accept it so that they don't get enforced on. We are currently sitting at a lot of infamy, so we can go after, you know, one of these wars here. Except for, I forgot we also have this nonsense still. With Fang. But I think I'm going to call it an episode here. We had a massive war in the Middle East. We talked a little bit about economies of scale at the beginning. I think I'm fine with them radicalizing. You know, then they will kind of like us more, I think. Overall, we might start getting the first bonus from them for the logging, agriculture, and ranches throughput, which is quite nice. These guys, we want to get them a little happier so we get the job creators, but very happy to have this workforce ratio and the manufacturing. You know, having all three of these guys powerful at once and in government, this is another big thing that we have managed to do. You know, having them all powerful, all relatively happy, very big game here. But yeah, we just had a massive war in the Middle East and we got this done, and so things are, you know, turning up pretty nicely. We have a bunch of infamy that's decaying. You know, the war in the Middle East wasn't that productive, but we did kind of side with the Ottomans, and we managed to make kind of a lot more out of it than I thought we were going to. I thought we were just going to get rolled and get enforced on. I was really hoping the Ottomans would back down at the start, but this is not the case. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Massive war in the Middle East. Have a good one.